Hello everybody, I'm your host Apubdon. You know who we are, you know what we're talking about. I just wanted to go ahead and go through the new ISOs that are on sale in the store, kind of discuss my feelings on them, and maybe give you some ideas on which ones to use and which ones to avoid. And the background music will still continue to be the Adult Swim bumps, and this will actually be one of my favorite ones of all time. It will be coming up over here. So let's pop over to the store and let's see the ones that we have. I'll kind of give you my opinion on them, the lowdown, and you know, everybody has their play styles. They will definitely do what they want. And again, I just wanted to say I'm irritated that they extended PvP. It just didn't seem like we needed it, but okay. So, Raging, Daredevil, Menricky applies Hemorrhage. Does anybody really use Daredevil? I mean, sure, with his internal bleeding, it'd probably be phenomenal. But not for 19. Reckless, Snap Kick applies Reckless Rage. So, this is the one that is in the Mysterio chapter and everything like that. I think they kind of hit the nail on the head with the price, but again, it's like, who really uses Daredevil? But it's not a bad little debuff. But they throw this ISO at you like crazy. It shows up on more than one spinner. Don't buy it. Formican, Army of Ants. Ants applies Winded. This is a very good one, as it is just another exploitable debuff for him. But I kind of liked that heroic. This one was very easy for me to farm, so maybe don't waste your gold on this one. But if you didn't like that one or just don't know the concept of it, it may be worth a purchase. Dazing, Curthbreaker of Stone. Brawler Stonebreaker gains exploits Delirium. Yes, this is definitely a purchase. I will say that Spider-Woman's own abilities actually count as a stun, because that biofeedback she does actually counts as a stun. So this one already has some good built-in things to exploit. So yes, this one is worth a purchase. Building Augmented. Probability Field does a bunch of good stuff like Cosmic Energy, Force Field, Recoup, Regeneration, Terracing Boost. We don't know her next outfit, so I would hold off on it, but it's pretty solid. Shocking, Empowering Strike Thor, adds electricity to static charge. There is a lot of ways you can get this, including an E-ISO. We know what Thor has in store for us. I just actually fought a Beta Ray Bill, Age of Ultron, and Blaster team that was obviously all electricity based, as they had the magnetic cannon. I whooped up on them thanks to Hafe's immunity and the fact that my agent was a tactician and really shut him down, but you know, compare this to the E-ISO. Maybe you don't need this. Over the Top, Union Jack. Over the Top interrupts defensive abilities. I think Union Jack has proved that he could be very, very good with the new Bounding ISO, and this, I think, just further helps him. I don't remember all the rest of the abilities as to what Over the Top is in terms of, like, I think it's slashing melee. This one, I think, is worth it, especially if you're enjoying Union Jack. I would maybe hold off on it until you get his Bounding, and if you have that, then yes, get this. Psychic Shock. Psychic Knife applies reduced potential. I didn't know this one existed until I saw it over here, and I think this is a very good item, especially if you could use Flanked. Uncanny X-Force Psylocke along with Uncanny Archangel are a formidable team, as they are stealthy and they each have a Fatal Blow. And hey, reduce potential on a Fatal Blow, especially if they're flanked, and then follow up with the level 1. I would consider this one worth a purchase, especially in Quick Lock teams. Extricating, Hard Reset. Status Reset removes debuffs from all allies. Very good if you like to cheese it up with Rescue. I did farm that particular chapter a lot and never got this one. I'm not going to buy this because I don't use Rescue enough to care, but Rescue fans will see a lot of good use out of that. Nutty, more nuts, removes all nuts. I have it, but it is a very, very good item, or at least it was until the whole quick action thing, but I think she's fixed now. So this is actually very solid, especially with other ISOs, tying it all together. Stabilizing, yes. Plasma Wave no longer kicks like a mule, but extends it by 1. Combat in PvP doesn't go that long, and the fact that Havoc will be very quickly able to start spamming his spheres again instead of being stunned, yes, this one is worth it. Anaphylactic, Bioenergy Blast causes in-cap. Yes, because she likes to fire that like crazy. Especially when we are talking about opportunistic, and apparently I already own it. I didn't know that I owned it. That's certainly good to know. And I have 2 nutties. Let me just check a few things over here and see which ones. Yeah, 4. Do you see the fact that I have 4 of these? Don't buy that. There's my dazing, just building, shocking. Pretty sure I actually had this, but it's equipped. Surprising, psychic shock. Yeah, I didn't think I owned that. Phasing. Yes, you saw the video I did with Strange and Null. Phasing would be phenomenal if you plan to use Doctor Strange, and honestly, he hits like a truck when you want him to. Why not? I mean, this is absolutely helpful, and I think it could save somebody's life. Yes, this is worth a purchase. Loaded, Walking Armory gains the class benefits, but gains a cooldown. I think Punisher goes with Kate pretty well, and Punisher's pretty good in utility. This one's worth it. Iron Augmented, Steel Curtain. Steel Curtain grants cover to all allies. I don't really think I knew about this one either, but that seems pretty good, but it's like, really, who uses Colossus? I did actually see one in PvP. In the modern outfit, I was shocked. I was like, what? Colossus and Molly. I was like, what? Okay. Gifted. Gifted battles now quick action. Yes. Yes, it's a very good thing. Ridiculous. This is one that I farmed a lot. You'll see that I have 2 of. I was farming the chapter a lot and inherited 2. It basically does a Heimdall type of thing on Deadpool's level 1. It does it to himself and his victim, which is then good to turn around for Boombuster. Boxing, Mean and Green, applies Hulk up on her punch. Yes, this is pretty handy for her. I think it's worth it. Puncturing, Blades of Rage, Horsemen of War. Blades of Rage now applies Pincushion. Pretty good if you think you're going to run her with counters or you see her passives proccing a lot. Sighted, yes, the Infiltrator one for Vision. Infiltrator interface grants phase. Blaster grants 5 charges. Both moves gain a 1 round shared. So essentially this doesn't let you bounce around a lot between the 2, but it gives you huge buffs to be in the right spec. Gifted Battle grants Rising Up and Breakthrough, probably just to himself. Honestly, I think there are so many ways for him to get buffs like Neurotrope and Heimdall. Still stay with the quick action. I mean, I just think this isn't worth it. High card, Ace of Spades becomes stealthy and applies flanked. For this price, and the fact that it just beast modes Gambit with the flanked and everything like that, yes, worth a purchase. Charged, Soul Sword Magic adds 1 additional soul charge. Yes, absolutely. Very, very good for her. I have it. And during this one, just look at my Team Immunity video, which is Destroyer and Wonder Man, and watch what Wonder Man does to a Molly tantrum with this ISO. It just speaks for itself. Ritualistic, Voodoo Incantation becomes a quick action but gains a shared cooldown. This is similar to Spiral's Dances. All of the Voodoos were available anyway, but at least this one allows you to do it as a quick action and then move on to other things. However, that could potentially fuck around with your phasing, because there are a lot of things that you phase yourself for, and you can kind of go down the incantations and stay phased. If you use something and then are forced to do something that unphases him, it sort of defeats the purpose. Not worth 19. Advantageous Augmented ISO 8. Ares applies disadvantage on the personal war, the quick action gun attack. Yes, absolutely worth a purchase, but it is a fun heroic to do. I believe it's him versus Iron Patriot, but this is a very, very tasty debuff. Fractured, Fist of Khonshu, Moon Knight. Fist of Khonshu gains exploit bleeds. Not that many people run a Moon Knight, but he is kind of fun, and yes, exploiting the bleeds for him would be very good. Scorching, Missile Barrage, Iron Man. I have one of these already. Missile Barrage gains Scorched. They did a good thing by making it 9, because this only applies to the Iron Men where it is actually called Missile Barrage. It cannot be slated in all Iron Men. Concussing, already own one. Shield Bash now applies to do really good things, especially with the new Age of Ultron one and the quick action tanking. Catastrophic, Frenzy becomes catastrophic and stealthy. Yes, Tiger can ramp up and be an absolute beast, including a group boss killer. So making Frenzy stealthy and catastrophic, I think this one is worth it. Painful, Blade Maelstrom, Pain Train. Yeah, if you use it, Shatterstar. Shatterstar is a very good 2-round massive hit person. You do Gladiatorial Carnage, put out the Tenderize, exploit the Tenderize. He also counters with Blade Maelstrom and follows up with Blade Maelstrom. So AoE Pain Train, yes. Raging, Inspire Courage, adds Berserk to Sif and all allies. Yes, not that many people use Sif, but this is a phenomenal ISO, as it is basically like Star-Lord. I did a video on Sif Lord way back when, before Star-Lord became all the rage with the douche groups. Breaking Bad Augmented. Probability Field causes a whole bunch more debuffs. Very good. I think I maybe like this one more than the defensive one, but let's wait for her new suit and see what happens. Desecrating. Damon Hellstrom applies Bane all enemies with Purifying Flame. I say this is a skip, because you want to use Purifying Flames to recover and not early, but it applies Bane. You would want to get that early, so the ISO kind of fights against the move. Ferric, Healing Chi and Praying Lotus, yes! If you like your Iron Fist, yes, get this. They know it. 19, they know what they're getting you for. They do. Feline, Unlucky Strike applies Hexed. I don't even really know how that works with her, to be honest, but maybe. Decent price, maybe should be 9. Mangling, Feral Ambush, Wolverine. Feral Ambush now applies Mangle. Hey, that's the stealthy one, and the ability to shut down buffs and kind of be Gamora-esque. It's good. Maybe we'll see some buffs to Wolverine in the future. He was a once good hero. Buckshot, Aerodynamite, Domino. Domino, really? Some people used her effectively with Pesty for some time, and now with the new scrolls she might be good, but I've never been impressed with Domino. Dr. Voodoo, Evandora Compatriot Boost spell now restores all ally stamina. This is the spell that says you act for however many heroes are up. Yeah, a boost to a turn fuckery spell is pretty cool. Why not? It ensures that they have stamina to take all their extra turns. Damning, Damnation Chain applies Sin to all enemies. It's Ghost Rider. Whatever. Flaring, yeah, this one could be a good one, but again, hold off until we see what the suit is. But I think it could be very, very good, as it just gives him something else to exploit being phased, and it gives you some options. If you don't want to use melee, well, now you can do something else. KG, Bodyguard now applies KG. Warning, this is only for Luke Cage and not Null. If you're running Luke Cage, sure, I think they should knock this down to a 9. Trampling, Valinor triggers Hemorrhage. I own one of these. It's pretty cool. sort of messes with how you run Black Knight. You could maybe want to put on-call there and make it a quick action. I don't think this one is worth 19 with the fact that there's on-call out there. Battle Van adds Brutal Strike, exploits corruption and attrition. Yes, I think this is a very good thing for him, as it gives him some additional team-ups. V for Victory becomes a quick action, but gains a 2-round cooldown. Yes, very good thing. A quick action flanked, so that he can buff himself with 2 moves in 1 round. You know, like his level 1 is level 2 by hitting a flanked opponent. Absolutely great. Use this a lot. You know, when it was Vision and it was Ultron and everything like that. Very, very good ISO, and it's a good price for it. Overwhelming. Smashing. Smashing applies weak points. Smashing is the ground attack that hits everybody. Sure, why not? But I think it should be 14. And then, of course, we have a hybrid one over here, which is old, but then we have Restful Atonement. Atonement gains lesser healing. Not bad if you're running Black Knight. Controlling, this is Mind Control on Emma. I have 3 of them. This one's a little tough to say it's a purchase, because there is also the Psychic ISO out there that does some really good debuffs. Should be 14. Sensing. Ava pre-counters before using this attack. This is his level 1, the gun attack. I think if Ava pre-counters, even if you haven't had the ability to summon her yet, then that would be cool. But Phantom X doesn't deserve 19 gold. But stay tuned to the channel for that. You'll see. Selective Augmented, Conan Banju, Sunfire, that blow-uppy shield thing no longer attacks people on his own side. Who uses Sunfire enough to really care about this one? 19? No. Knock it down to 14, maybe 9. Endothermic Gamma Bomb grants 30% heat. Yes! However, sometimes it means Red Hulk can burn himself out super fast. Valhalla, Sacrificial Blessing has a 100% chance. You could get really freaking trolly with this, and Phoenix. And maybe things like the Hoarfrost Mace, and it becomes a quick action. Yeah, that one is worth a purchase. Then we have some others. Penitent, Absolution, Archangel. I found this one pretty easy to farm for, and I eventually did get it well after I got the Nanoplague one. Yes, very good, but with the quick action things, he's taken a massive hit to that. Virulent, this is... Yes, this one you want to get. AoE, Nanoplague, especially with Psylocke making it stealthy. Yes, very, very good ISO. Tempestuous, preemptively. Yes, very, very good one for Thundra. Reflexive, Vibranium Daggers. Yes. Arachnid, Web. Yes. Especially now. Yes. Get that. And then finally, Slam and Goliath Punch. And Goliath Punch gains Hobble. Another exploitable debuff when the big foot comes down. So, I think there are definitely some good ones in here, and there are some passes. But again, you are paying to skip spending time. All of these you can get with a little bit of farming and whatnot. So, there's my take on it. Leave your comments down in the description, and let's start a discussion what people think about these ISOs and the prices, and let me know. Take care, everybody.